Please turn up the volume of your computer and I'm going to show you 2 minutes trailer of the movie Sight.
I'm going to help you see again.
You said it was impossible.
Ah, there he is, the good doctor.
You're going to be on the cover of the Tennessee Herald tomorrow morning. You may get a date out of this.
Not with that picture.
Very funny.
Our pro bono office got a call from India. A little girl, 6 years old.
Apparently, street beggars make more money if they're legitimately blind. So the stepmother poured sulfuric acid in each of her eyes.
I'm going to help you see again, Kajal.
Is it true that multiple doctors declared your patient irreversibly blind?
Yes, I developed this new breakthrough technology. Here we go. Do you see the light?
No. I can't see anything.
I have this patient from India. She reminds me of some things in the past that I can't get over.
The present is made possible by the past.
A long time ago back in China, there was an uprising in my hometown. Many bad things happened.
So we came to America.
Yes.
It's hard getting into medical school, but you coming from China, don't waste your time.
You cannot change the past, Ming. I feel like I'm stuck.
Hello, doctor. This is Maria.
We want to give her a chance to see again.
I don't even know if I can perform surgery anymore. I left you.
Stop it. You need to just let go.
I just don't want Maria to end up like Kajal.
We can only do our best. I'm with you, Ming. We can do this.
I refuse to believe there is no purpose.
I will be praying for you.
Kajal is teaching me that there's more to life than what you see. We have to keep going.
Thought you said it was impossible.
Can you see yourself, Maria?
I'm so pretty.
So after 10 years of making the film Sight, the film was actually rejected by all top 10 Hollywood film distributors, both digital and theatrical, citing, number one, they're not as interested in Christian films anyway, and number two, as a minority Chinese-American film, there's no Kung Fu or Ancient Dynasty, they're not interested. So it looks like the film will be buried, just like all other attempts by Chinese-Americans as a minority to tell our stories in the past. However, I took the matter into my own hands and decided to fight this the stereotype and discrimination. And I took the film around the country and in 365 days traveled to 40 states, conducted 500 free film shows to 50,000 Asian Americans and telling our story and the story tour. And telling Jesus story tour because I believe God wants science and faith to work together. In February, this is one of the photos of the tour. In February of 2024, God answered our prayer. Angel Studio, which distributed The Chosen, The Bible Story, Sound of Freedom, decided to distribute Sight. So after theatrical movie theater run, now it's in streaming. Streaming link, free link is sight.mingwang.com. As I said, by watching the film through this free link and also by sharing this free link with others, you are helping our Sight Foundation so that more people become aware of the foundation so we can help more blind orphan children as such. The films also help our next generation to appreciate what they have. And also I do something else in the educational arena, helping young people. I published a little booklet called 事半功倍, meaning combining East and West, how to do things pearls and the best from East and best from the West, so we can end up be able to do things more efficiently. So every third Wednesday, I conduct a Zoom telling the 77 pearls. If you're interested in receiving the 事半功倍 book, you can email me with your mailing address, and I'll be happy to mail you, ladies and gentlemen, a free book as a little gift. And our next monthly 事半功倍 Zoom, how to learn these pearls, how to do things more efficiently, is on June 18th third Wednesday of June, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Taking a picture of the screen, you get the Zoom number and the password as such. So today, I've gone through the 5 purposes that I've developed for myself. I'm no way reached the purpose yet. I'm still working on it, but these are my goals. Number 1, to share our knowledge with others. Number 2, to remember our roots. And number 3, to progress human knowledge so we can improve the quality of lives. Number 4 is to find common ground based on our shared humanity. And number 5 is to help those who need the most help. So if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Wang, what is your single inspiration, vision behind these 5 specific purposes? What is one purpose you feel that you want to achieve as a human being? And my purpose is really only one singular vision, inspiration behind these 5 purposes. I feel that as a Christian, that I'm privileged, as God has given me the opportunity to walk on this planet for a few decades. I want to do what I can as n equal to 1, as one human being, to do what I can to help make the world a little better place to live. And that singular vision is behind these 5 specific purposes as such. So here, I finished my presentation. I'm going to turn to Santori and we're going to have a fun discussion and for you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me through my email address or just visit drmingwang.com as such.
I just want to say thank you, Dr. Ming Wang, for just sharing your story. It's an amazing story, and I absolutely love the fact that you talk about God and being a Christian unapologetically. I think it's an amazing thing because it's important for me to set the stage with talking about God and the things that many of us have experienced in life and even also overcome, and just to spread the word that if we can overcome some trials and tribulations in our lives, so can you. And I love the fact that you talk about the issues with poverty at such a time that we are in right now when so many people are homeless and they are totally struggling with money and holding on to faith. And you spoke a lot about discrimination. One of the questions I want to ask, because I am African American, right? And I had my share of neglect as a Black person, especially in the healthcare system, right? What are your thoughts, even in the Black and Brown community, when dealing with health disparities as a doctor? Even coming from your own experiences, have you witnessed things like that with patients that may have came to you, or what has that experience been like?
Great question. As an Asian American, and I'm one of the minorities as well in America, and so I share the experience as my, African American friends, Latin American friends, and other race and ethnicities. And what I've learned is that number 1, racial discrimination does exist. You cannot deny that. It's a reality. So by denying it exists, that we could not solve the problem. We didn't even recognize the problem exists. So my experience, firsthand experience, is I do understand it does exist. Second, the more important question is, how do we address it? How do we reduce and eliminate racial discrimination? How do we really fully realize Dr. Martin Luther King's dream that people are judged by the content of their work, their character, rather than by the color of their skin? And my experience on that is the best way I've learned how to overcome these stereotype and discrimination is to really understand it will only come from ourselves. It will not come from charity. It cannot come from, other people say, oh, you know what, that we give you charity, a little respect. No. You have to fight for it. You have to fight for it. And the way to fight for it is I work hard. I work even a little harder and try to make something of myself in my life I came to this country with $50. I couldn't even speak the language. I did not know anyone, did not understand the culture. And, when I initially came to Nashville 20-some years ago, there's some competing doctors, Southern doctors, they say, oh, I mean, you're not going to stay because as Asian Americans, you can only have a medical practice successfully in New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles when there are Asian patients there. So they say I only can survive in Nashville for only 1 year. So I fought against that. I said, I'm not going to believe in that discrimination, racial discrimination remarks, but also I'm going to use my own action to prove they're wrong. So what I did is I work even harder, but not just working harder. I found a way to offer something my patients typically don't get, which is, lots of doctors are excellent in their medical skills, but they don't communicate well with their patients. They don't trade places with patients. They don't speak the language of the patients. They only speak the language of the doctors. And so I try to make a difference. So every single patient I've operated, number one, I pray with all my patients in my entire career before surgery. And number two, after surgery, I give every single one of my patients my personal cell phone number.
Oh, wow.
I call everyone after surgery and I tell everyone that, the person who untied a knot is the person who initially tied the knot to begin with. So I'm the one who did the surgery. Only I can be in the best position to solve any problem my surgery has caused. So you have 24/7 access to me, any problem as my patient. So offer my access to my patients. And that's what lots of other doctors don't want to do. And second thing that I did, which is unique, is pay people in this part of the southern part of the United States sometimes for best technology. They fly to California, New York, but I want traffic go the other way. I want Nashville. We have the world's best eye center. So I invested, learned the best technology, and we introduced some of the best technology in the world in the United States here in Nashville, Tennessee at the One Vision Institute. Today, we already reversed the traffic. And not only Middle Tennessee patients don't have to go to those coastal cities, New York, Los Angeles, to get best medical treatment. In fact, many of those patients come from these coastal cities to Nashville, Tennessee to get the best technology treatment here. So by doing these two things, offering patient access, also really commit to the best technology, that I'm able to, through my own action, not only working hard, but also working smart, to prove these people who said, oh, you're Chinese, you're no good, you only can survive in American South only 1 year, proven to be wrong. So the answer to the question, how do we reduce and eliminate racial discrimination, lies in ourselves. We need to have the confidence, courage, stand up, and not only protest it, fight it, but also do something, not only work harder, but work smarter so that we can do something unique. And then years later, come back to tell the person, hey, listen, you're wrong. You should not discriminate.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that so much. That is so awesome.
Thank you.
That is so awesome. Because, unfortunately, like a lot of Blacks are dealing with that, not being heard from the doctors. A lot of doctors are dismissing the voices of patients. The mortality rate is high amongst our Black and brown. And so I'm being a domestic violence advocate myself and being a survivor of domestic violence, as much as I know it's in regards to physical harm with an intimate partner or a loved one or so forth, I'm seeing it more in the hospitals, and that's the unfortunate part.
Yes. And sometimes, people think, oh, your minority is sort of a disadvantage in the, a country where white is majority, right? And I look at sometimes as an advantage. Why? As a minority is an advantage, meaning Asian Americans, African Americans, Latin Americans. It's an advantage in the sense that many of us have had suffering, being discriminated against, suffer from the inequality, the racial tension, the being stereotyped and dismissed, or sometimes being ignored, honestly. So, in other words, what we can do is we can use those experience, turn into positive. But as a doctor, I feel that people say, oh, I mean, why devote those time to help those blind orphan children? My answer is very simple because I used to be in darkness myself. I can relate to them. I know what it feel like to be in the darkness because during Cultural Revolution in China, I couldn't even allow to go to high school and not to say college. I has no future. And I came to this country, as I mentioned, I was discriminated against as Asian Americans as well. So I'm saying all of my fellow Asian Americans, African Americans, Latin Americans, professionals, or whatever line of job, don't look at being a minority as a disadvantage. Sometimes look at it as an advantage because we understand the feeling of being discriminated against. We are more compassionate. We are in a position to relate, in my case as a doctor, my patients better. So in many ways, we can do a better job, than others. So be confident, recognizing our being a minority as an asset, not a weakness. It's a strength, allowing us to do whatever job you do, being a CPA, being a engineer, being a real estate business person, do those jobs better because we can feel the suffering of those who are suffering. My life story has been written up in my autobiography, From Darkness to Sight, by visiting wangfoundation.com for $25. If you write a check to Wang Foundation, that you can get a book, and all proceeds go to the foundation. Even though the medical care for these blind orphan children are free, however, we raise money to help their travel, lodging, education, housing, other non-medical expenses as such. And my autobiography has been turned into movie Sight, which has won the Best Picture winner at ICVM International Christian Film Award. And it was distributed by Andrew Studios, which distributed Chosen, The Bible Story, Sound of Freedom, now Sight. And it was in the theaters in the summer of 2024, the longest running movie in the summer of 2024 in the United States for 3 months. Now it is on Andrew Studios streaming platform, as well as many other platforms. However, here's a free link right here. You can take a picture of the screen. You see the free site link. By watching the film through this free site link and also sharing this free link with other people, you're helping the foundation because more people know about the foundation and more blind orphan children will be able to help.